It's still loading once it is fully loaded. Okay, yeah, it's still loading once it is fully loaded. Okay, yeah, it's still loading once it is fully loaded. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us yet again for another live session. It's always amazing to have us on the call, and most importantly, having our partners yet again for able to have us on the call, and most importantly, having our partners yet again. Yeah, so it's important having our partners from K2 Farm on the call. A big shout out to them for their continuous support and partnership. I'm hearing an echo, by the way, and I don't know how to manage that. I really wish it stops. Shout out to them for their continuous support and partnership. I'm hearing an echo, by the way, and I don't know how to manage that. I really wish it stops. Shout out to them for their continuous support and partnership. So I'm hearing an echo, by the way, and I don't know how to manage that.
Just introduce
I really
yourself.
wish it
Tell us where you are
stops.
joining us
Shout out to
from,
them
and we
for
will
their
do well to
continuous
recognize
support and
you.
partnership.
On the
So
call, we
I'm
have
hearing an echo, by the
our
way,
partner
and
for
I
K2
don't know how to
introduction.
manage that.
Just introduce
I really
yourself.
wish
We have
it
tell us where you are
stops.
joining us
Shout out to
from,
them
and we
for
will
their
do well to
continuous support
recognize
and
you.
partnership.
On the
So
call, we
I'm
have
hearing an echo, by the
our
way,
partner for
and I
K2
don't know how to
introduction.
manage that.
Just introduce
I really
yourself. We
wish
have
it
tell us where you are
stops.
joining us
Shout out to
from,
them
and we
for
will
their
do well to
continuous support
recognize
and
you.
partnership.
On the
So
call, we
I'm
have
hearing an echo, by the
our
way,
partner for
and I
K2
don't know how to
introduction.
manage that.
Just introduce
I really
yourself. We
wish
have
it
tell us where you are
stops.
joining us
Shout out to
from,
them
and we
for
will
their
do well to
continuous support
recognize
and
you.
partnership.
On the
So
call, we
I'm
have
hearing an echo, by the
our
way,
partner for
and I
K2
don't know how to
introduction.
manage that.
Just introduce
I really
yourself. We
wish
have
it
tell us where you are
stops.
joining us
Shout out to
from,
them
and we
for
will
their
do well to
continuous support
recognize
and
you.
partnership.
On the
So
call, we
I'm
have
hearing
Thank you
an
for
echo,
joining,
by the
our
Mary.
way,
partner
All
for
the
and
best
I
to my
K2
don't know how to
daughter.
manage
introduction.
that.
Hello,
Just
Adora.
introduce
I really
yourself. We
wish
have
it
tell us where you are
stops.
joining us
Shout out to
from,
them
and we
for
will
their
do well to
continuous support
recognize
and
you.
partnership.
On the
So
call,
Just a minute.
we will be learning about stem gardening, who we are. Sorry for that break in transmission. I think the noise has reduced. So yes, the STEM Garden Initiative, we will be learning about STEM gardening, who we are. Sorry for that break in transmission. I think the noise has reduced. So yes,
We empower
the STEM Garden
participants to
Initiative,
hands-on learning,
we will be learning about
including
STEM gardening,
sensation
who we are.
and
Sorry for that break
cultural
in
practice
transmission.
that
I think
youth
the
empowerment
noise
and skill
has
gap with
reduced.
vulnerable
So yes,
We empower
the STEM
our
Garden
series on
initiative,
our
we will be
vision.
learning
We
about
envision
STEM
a
Garden,
future where
who we
children,
are.
youth, and women
Sorry for
thrive
that
for
break
sustainable
in
transmission,
transmission. I think they
STEM
are
education
known
and
as
community
Scrabbles.
empowerment.
So yes,
We empower
the STEM Garden
our series on
initiative,
our
we will be
vision.
learning
We
about
envision
STEM
a
Garden,
future where
who we
children,
are.
youth, and women
Sorry for
thrive
that
for
break
sustainable
in
transmission,
transmission. I think they
STEM
are
education
known
and
as
community
Scrabbles.
empowerment.
So yes,
We empower
the STEM Garden
our series on
initiative,
our
we will be
vision.
learning
We
about
envision
STEM
a
Garden,
future where
who we
children,
are.
youth, and women
Sorry for
thrive
that
for
break
sustainable
in
transmission,
transmission. I think they
STEM
are
education
known
and
as
community
Scrabbles.
empowerment.
So yes,
We empower
the STEM Garden
our series on
initiative,
our
we will
vision.
be learning
We
about
envision
STEM
a
Garden,
future where
who we
children,
are.
youth, and women
Sorry for
thrive
that
for
break
sustainable
in transmission.
transmission,
I think they
STEM
are
education
known
and
as
community
Scrabbles.
empowerment.
So yes,
We empower
the STEM Garden
our series on
initiative,
our
we will be
vision.
learning
We
about
envision
STEM
a
Garden,
future where
who we
children,
are.
youth, and women
Sorry for
thrive
that
for
break
sustainable
in transmission.
transmission,
I think they
STEM
are
education
known
and
as
community
Scrabbles.
empowerment.
So yes,
We empower
the STEM Garden
our series on
initiative,
our
we will
vision.
be learning
We
about
envision
STEM
a
Garden,
future where
who we
children,
are.
youth, and women
Sorry for
thrive
that
for
break
sustainable
in transmission.
transmission,
I think they
STEM
are
education
known
and
as
community
Scrabbles.
empowerment.
So yes,
We empower
the STEM Garden
our series on
initiative,
our
we will
vision.
be learning
We
about
envision
STEM
a
Garden,
future where
who we
children,
are.
youth, and women
Sorry for
thrive
that
for
break
sustainable
in transmission.
transmission,
I think they
STEM
are
education
known
and
as
community
Scrabbles.
empowerment.
So yes,
We empower
the STEM Garden
our series on
initiative,
our
we will
vision.
be learning
We
about
envision
STEM
a
Garden,
future where
who we
children,
are.
youth, and women
Sorry for
thrive
that
for
break
sustainable
in transmission.
transmission,
I think they
STEM
are
education
known
and
as
community
Scrabbles.
empowerment.
So yes,
We empower
the STEM Garden
our series on
initiative,
our
we will
vision.
be learning
I will just go straight to introduce our speaker and hope the echoes reduce. So Brixin Julian, also known as BRICS, is a dedicated community organizer and advocate for sustainable development, integrating a grassroots approach to promote positive change. He's an alumni of the Western Madeno State University, holding a Bachelor of Science in Economics, and has been honored by his alma mater for his outstanding leadership and service. Currently, he's serving as the president of the Community Association of Youth in Action. He leads an organization that is an elected member of the local Youth Development Council in the city of Zamboanga. Under his leadership, he has also gained accreditation for National Anti-Poverty Commission in the youth and student sector, where he served as a council member representing Region 9. During his tenure with NAPEC, he successfully passed resolutions supporting the increase of funding for state universities and colleges in the Philippines and the passage of the Klima Bill. He also advocates for Magna Carta for young farmers and the Magna Carta for out-of-school youth, extending his support for initiatives that empowers marginalized groups. Additionally, BRICS is a part of the core volunteer with K2 Farm, where where he facilitates technology transfer session in the community. Through his initiative, he helps equip young people with essential skills in sustainable agriculture, bridging the gap between technology and farming. With nearly a decade of experience as a volunteer and youth leader, he was recognized by the City of Mayor in 2024 as a promising youth leader in leadership and service excellence. His commitment to fostering community engagement and sustainable development continues to inspire those around him, making a lasting impact in the life of young people in his community. Please, let's give it up for Brixin Julian. as he takes over the session. I will just stop sharing this and ensure that we are able to share this slide. Thank you.
Hi everyone, good evening, and thank you. Good day, and thank you for joining us tonight. As I'm going to share with you our expertise specifically on how can we help our ecology when it comes to create food for our community. So tonight I'll be sharing you some of our innovation in which how can we use our food waste into useful approaches wherein it can be helpful for our food production. So let's start with this discussion. Before anything else, I'm again Brigson Ulian. So thank you so much for having this opportunity to share with you all our knowledge on how can we mitigate the problems that we're facing in our environment and how can we make use of our resources. Okay, for this one, have you ever thought about where our food waste goes after we throw it away? Most of it ends up in landfills, producing harmful gases and contributing to pollution. But what if I told you that same waste can actually bring back life to our soil? That's where Bokashi, as one of our discussion tonight, in which Bokashi is not just about composting. It's a smarter, faster, and more sustainable way of turning our waste into something valuable. It helps us reduce the garbage, improve soil health, and even support our sustainable agriculture. For communities like ours, living in a highly urbanized city or rural areas, agriculture and integrating bokashi is powerful because it allows us to turn every kitchen waste into nutrient-rich fertilizer. It is simple, low cost, and something anyone, even the young people, can do. So today, we'll be exploring on how this bokashi works, how can we do this, and how can we start doing it on ourselves. Next slide, please. So bokashi refers to a range of microbial waste products developed by a Japanese scientist, Dr. Teruo Higa. Its core is beneficial to ferment organic waste into not just letting it rot. So the bokashi is a Japanese term for organic matter fermentation. And what could be the secret of this one? It all boils down to these microorganisms, the microbes. These are the tiny living things that are found all around us. It is also known as microorganism, as I said. They are too small that can't be seen by our naked eyes. So why bokashi benefits? Why bokashi is beneficial to us, to agriculture? Bokashi, as one of its benefits, can we proceed to the next slide? Yeah, next. One of its benefit is to build our soil healthy. That can help compose to it become the foundation of building a healthy and productive soil structure. Next benefit of it is that it can compose all kind of food waste. Unlike other composting methods, Bokashi composting allows us to compose all of your food waste. Cooked foods, dairy, meat, vegetables, bones, fruits, or any kind of kitchen waste that can be composed by this bokashi. And lastly, it is excellent for water treatment, in which bokashi mud balls inhibit growth of algae that can help that helps break down the any sludge and silts component of water and make water clean and healthy. Next, please. So we have 5 steps in creating or making a bokashi fermentation. Next. So it starts from fermenting the imas, making it the bokashi bran, make bokashi mud balls, ferment mud balls, and applying the mud balls. So now every steps will be deep diving in every steps and understand how can be started. So now let's start. Next, please. So let's start fermenting an EMAS, or also known as the effective microorganism activated solution. Next, please. Next, please. So this EMAS is is an organic fertilizer that promotes soil, plant, and animal health. It is a source of beneficial microorganisms that can condition and strengthen the soil, plant, and even animals. So how can we create this EMAS, or the effective microorganism activated solution? You just need to have one EM1 solution plus molasses and a water. So before we proceed on that, let's understand what are these 3 ingredients in creating an EMAS. So an EMAS stands for effective microorganism. It's a range of microbial products pioneered by the distinguished scientist Dr. Taruo Higa. This innovation is a liquid probiotic consisting 3 essential groups of microbes: the yeast, photosynthetic bacteria, and the lactic acid bacteria. Okay, so that's the EM1. The EM solution, that's one of our ingredient in creating this EMAS. Next, we have the molasses. Molasses is a byproduct of the production of sugar. It is a dense, viscous liquid of dark brown tint, rich in sugars, and containing a small percentage of water. So to mix these 3 components, we just need to have 1 liter of EM1 solution, 1 liter of molasses, and a 28 liters, again, 28 liters of clean water, and put it in a container. So again, the 3 components of this EMAS is 1 liter of EM1 solution, 1 liter of molasses, and a 28 liters of clean water in a container. So after mixing this, ferment it for 7 days. Don't tighten the cover of the container. And it's normal to have the presence of some black soldier fly larvae because it also helps the fermentation of the EMAS. It's normal occurrence for the fermentation of creating the EMAS. So after 7 days, it may look like this solution. So this solution is somewhat an easy brownish color. So once it's ready, we can now proceed to the step 2 of creating this bokashi. The step 2 is making the bokashi bran. This bokashi bran is a magic ingredient in the bokashi composting system. The brand harbors billions of specialized selected microbes. So what are the different brands that we can use for this bokashi? So we have the wheat bran, the rice hull, and the rice bran. So these are the brand types that we can use in creating a Bokashi brand. So in creating this Bokashi brand, we can mix 20 liters of e-mass with 40 kilos of bran. Either you will use a rice hull, a rice bran, or a wheat bran, and put it in a container. So once it is being mixed, we just need to leave it for 7 days for the fermentation. Again, don't tighten the lid cover of the container. Leave it to ferment. And after that, after mixing and having it fermented, it will look like this. So it smells like a sour pickle-like odor. So this is a smell that emits by this fermentation of these two component, the rice, the bran, and an EMAS. Now, once ready, we just need to dry the bokashi rice bran and store it in a container. So once it is being stored or done drying it, you can use this bokashi bran to you for the for the composition of our food. So the bokashi bran may causes fermentation which helps turn your food scraps into a fertilizer packed with nutrients, microbes, and probiotics that will bring life to our soil. So one of the very example of this one that can be used is, I know you have heard it, the Gardenator. Next, please. Yes, it is one of our um, output that we're sharing in our community, and we're also using Bokashi brand for our Gardenator. Now another way on doing this one is once you have the Bokashi brand, we can create this Bokashi bucket composting. So this Bokashi bucket composting is one way for us to help mitigate the problem of food waste in our kitchen, from our kitchen. So in creating this Bokashi bucket, we just need to have a pail, of course, as an example in our screen. So once you have a pail or a plastic pail, you can drill holes on the inner bucket and add the faucet, because this faucet is an exit way for our leachate from the food waste we have put it inside the bokashi bucket. Now, once you have the faucet and the holes, insert into outer bucket. Another outer bucket is the filter of a leachate. So this first component of the bucket is the filter, wherein it will filter out the food waste coming from the composition and the composting material added to the bucket. And then the lower part, it is where the leachate contains. So make sure the lid of this bucket is secured, and it cannot be easily be opened, because in the long process, when we are starting using our bucket, we added some of the food scraps from our kitchen, and then we add a layer of bokashi bran. This layer will stop from smelling as it ferments. We just need to add the food scraps, collect them. When the bucket is nearly full, let it ferment for 10 days without opening the lid. So we need to secure that the lid or the cover of this bokashi bucket is secure and cannot be easily opened. So drain the liquid every other day, and you may use the liquid from the bokashi bucket and add and dilute it in water. Use it for the gardening or watering to your garden because it has components or nutrients that can be used for watering. Now, once you're done, once the composting happens, you can harvest after 10 days the food waste because it's being partly fermented and you can bury it in the soil in a raised bed or on your lawn garden and wait for another 10 days before using the soil for growing vegetables. So that's the process of using this Bokashi bucket. And how can we create a Bokashi brand? Now, once you have the Bokashi brand for the steps, you will now create the Bokashi Mad Balls. So this is one of our interesting part of doing this Bokashi innovation because this Bokashi mud balls is a dry mud into which is being molded into a spherical shape composed of a Bokashi brand and an activated EM that have been kneaded into a circle or a spherical shape. So these Bokashi mud molds, in creating this one, you just need to have 1 liter of imas or the with 5 kilos of clay soil and rice hull that is being carbonized. So make sure this ingredient is present and thoroughly mix. So after mixing, you can start creating it into a mad balls. So these mad balls, it will be formed into a circle one that is in the size of a tennis ball. Yan. So can you proceed to the next slide for an example? For everyone can see on how is the size. Yeah. So the mad balls is in the size of a tennis ball. So once ready, once you're done having it, once fermenting the mixture of this bokashi with the clay soil, leaving it for 7 days fermented, and then once ready, you may do this creating a mad balls. Once you have the mad balls ready, we can ferment it again. So this will invite and activate the organism of these mad balls. So for this one, you just need once you have done creating the mud balls, you need to place it in a shaded area. Cover it with paper or cloth or any used tarpaulins for 7 days. So after 7 days of covering it and putting it in a place that can process into fermentation, it will create into something a cotton-like uh figure mud balls or balls. It may look like a munchkin or it may look like um a munchkin that's very alike to that. So it is a connotation that the fermentation is done and we can use it and apply it um to our any kind of intervention we wanted to use it. So now we can apply the mad balls and you have the mad balls, you can now throw it away. So for throwing it away, make sure the ideal ratio for this mad ball will have one mad ball for every 1 square meter once every month. So it should be applied gradually. It is not a one-time application. We need to have it frequently done until we attain the desired outcome of intervention. So one of the thing that we can use the mud ball is the waterways, treating our waterways. So it can treat the rivers, creeks, canals, lakes, and clogged waterways. For example, we have here in our city, the Bog Lake in San Roque. This is one of our beneficiary, one of our targeted area when we had this Bokashi mad balls. We also have a benchmark story, a success story from the municipality of Taytay. Was initiated by Tobet Cruz as seen in the picture. He's the founder of Angat Kabataan Santa Ana. So this milestone was being recognized and wrote in an article by the Asia Development Bank in which it recognizes the young volunteers who took the challenge in treating the dying water resources of their community. So as you can see, next slide, it was like the on the left side of the picture. It's kind of sad to see on how poor the situation of this canal that they have chosen, the creek they have chosen to use the mud ball. For after series of applying the bokashi, on the right side you can see the outcome of their persistent application of bokashi. So it's one of the testament on how effective the bokashi and can cure the problem of the of the problem within of our waterways on our water resources. It can invite more lives that can bring back the the essence of this resource. So now, if you're done, we have these tips for how to rehabilitate the waterways using this bokashi. First, first thing you need to consider is we need to identify an area you see that really needs the use of mud balls for this. Then once you have identified, you may start measuring the area. And then once you have the area, you have measured everything in that area, you need to conduct a waterways cleanup. Remove unnecessary floaters on the chosen water body, the body of water. And then once you had it, once you remove everything, you may conduct a waste auditing to know what could be the possible polluters, the component of pollutions on the chosen body of water. Now, if you're done with the waste auditing, you may start creating the mud balls. Following the steps from creating an EMAS, creating a Bokashi brand, and then from adding it to a clay component, then mixing it and leaving it for 7 days for fermentation, and then after having leaving it for 7 days, you may use the mud and creating two mud balls, and then another 7 days for fermenting it. Then once ready, you may apply the mud balls. Then how can you, then that's it. That's the ways for us to how to treat our polluted waterways in our community. In a small mud balls with frequent application, it will attain us a good outcome from this kind of intervention. Now, how can we sustain the project in the long term? So first, one of our recommendation is you can use this INMAS, a Bokashi brand, and making a Bokashi mat balls for an entrepreneurial opportunities. Because given that it has a benefit not only for creating a Bokashi mat balls, but also can be helpful in our agricultural practices. So ferment imas, you can sell it on the market. The Bokashi brand, you can sell it on the market. And also the Bokashi malpos. These, you can sell the imas, of course, as one of our alternative for synthetic fertilizers to farmers. The Bokashi balls, Bokashi brand, you can sell it to household for their household waste composting. And for the mad balls, this is one of our we do for the community is to have it as a fundraising for entrepreneur opportunities. So you can make and sell the mud ball seed bombs for representation and reforestation. This is one of our looking forward intervention wherein you insert a seed and throw it somewhere that you wanted to prosper it, the seeds that you wanted to grow and be part of the ecological intervention. So to read more and have the copy of my presentation, you may just scan the copy of it. You may take a photo, screenshot it, or do anything that you can get the copy of this step by step. This is one way for us to share the knowledge and ensures that you have the thorough understanding of this discussion tonight. So if you're done
Thank
scanning it, thank you so much. And I hope you have learned a lot from the discussion and you got something from it. And you may start doing this small action and can contribute to the bigger impact of our community.
Thank you so much, Briggs. I mean, this is super amazing. I have learned a lot. So I was looking forward to just learning fermentation, but with this mode box as well, it's something different. And I think, yes, the opportunities are just there, entrepreneurial opportunities. We are not just using to grow our farm, but we are also reselling. We are also reselling. So I think one question here that is coming up is how do you preserve the mud box? Do you leave it in an open air or you cover it to encourage further fermentation? Thank you.
Okay, earlier it was being stated that we need to place our mud balls in a covered area. So it means it doesn't being um exposed to any kind of sunlight or air. Put it in a place that is being covered to ensure the growth and fermentation of our mud balls. So again, it's a cool, covered places.
All right, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. And then I think one other question is do you think the kind of soil matters or you look for is there a specific soil you use for the mud box?
Yes, we call it as a clay soil. It's a yellowish or orange-ish colored
Yeah. I
soil.
think we have
Yeah.
the clay soil in Nigeria here too.
Yes. So you can use that. That's the very component of the mud balls to ensure that it can create a spherical shape for a mud ball.
All right. Thank you so much. Please keep your questions coming. We are connecting live on YouTube, remember, and we have amazing people and comments on YouTube appreciating this session. I mean, it's an educative one, it's quite insightful, and it's also amazing that this is a live session. And what this means is people can always visit online to watch this video again. And I like that this was also very, very short, and which means it's not overwhelmed. So I have another question. Is the AM1 sold at an agromat or one can produce it by themselves?
Yes, they can. The EM1 is cannot be created by anyone unless you have the technology in creating an EM1 by collecting all the components of this EM1, the yeast, the lactic acid bacteria, and the other one is Wait, let me go over it first. I forgot another component of the lactic bacteria because these are the component of a EM1, the photosynthetic bacteria. So again, this EM1 is readily available in the market because it runs a lot of the processes to create to produce this EM1. So it is available at the market, but if you have the technology in creating one, you just need to ensure that you have the essential group of beneficial microbes, the yeast, photosynthetic bacteria, and the lactic acid bacteria. So these are the three components of EM1 that that makes it the effective microorganism solution. So
All right,
again and again,
that's
the
yeah.
EM1 is readily available at the market.
Okay. So I mean, we can start it. Step
Yeah,
guide. Yes, we can start it. Moreover, one aim of this session is building entrepreneurial skill. So it's also amazing that we can try it ourselves, and it's good that we have educators across different parts of Nigeria joining. We also have people joining from the Philippines. So it's super amazing to have you here. I think this is one lesson that is amazing. Let me just say it's amazing. So thank you. I want to say a
if
big shout out to Kids Who Farm. They And we also want to encourage all our participants and subscribers. Please follow Kids Who Farm on all social media pages, and you also get the opportunity to learn continuously from them. Also, I think one last announcement is also to encourage us to follow STEM Garden Initiative on all platforms as well, because for such collaboration and trainings as this, it is a collaboration with Kids Who Farm and STEM Garden Initiative. So I have one more question here from the YouTube. And the question is, to what level can the rice husk be carbonized?
pardon,
Yeah, the
carbonize.
rice husk, to what level
Ah,
can it be carbonized?
okay. The carbonized risal is it is in our experience having this kind of carbonized risal is it's a lightweight porous soil conditioner and a fertilizer. And how can we carbonize it? The level of carbonization of this rice hull to make it more friendly on our gardening activity, we need to ensure that it's combusted in around 400 to 500 centigrade. That's the very friendly carbonizer. Because if we go beyond um from that temperature, it may turn into ashes. So we need to ensure in creating this carbonized rice hull, you need to have at least 400 to 500 Celsius so you can get the desired outcome of your carbonized rice hull. That's around 400 to 500 centigrade. Hello.
So much. So please, if you are joining us from YouTube, we'll be dropping the link to Kids Who Farm LinkedIn accounts. We'll also be dropping the link to STEM Garden account. And please do well to go through the session and share feedback. We'll pin all of this link there. And yes, it's super amazing to have you. Thank you all. And with this, I think this brings us to the end of our first quarter learning series with Kids Who Farm. Thank you, Brixin, for joining the call. Thank you, Munir, for making this work. And thank you to the entire team of STEM Garden Initiative and all participants joining us live on YouTube. It's been an amazing learning series, I must say. And I hope that we are able to go back to this live session, watch the videos again, share with your friends and network, and practice, most importantly, practice all that have been taught. Thank you once again for joining and have an amazing day. I think with this, we'll be ending our live session. Thank you, Brilsin. Have a good day. Bye, everyone.
Congratulations.